Hello, everyone. I'm Yazan Ibrahim, or as some of you might know me, Yazan Abu Ghosh. Today, we're going to dive into a fascinating and essential topic, Fraud Examiner Section 2 2.6, Tax Fraud. Today's deep dive into the world of tax fraud. Whether you're an aspiring fraud investigator, a business owner, or simply curious about how organizations manage their finances, or if you are auditor, this journey will shed light on the often complex systems that drive decision making. Tax fraud and evasion are not just dry details about numbers and taxes. They are a high stakes game of manipulation, intent, and consequences that can unfold in many intricate and surprising ways. Imagine the world of taxes not as a set of rules buried in spreadsheets, but as a dynamic battlefield where fraudulent schemes, bold defenses, and legal deterrents intersect. Let us explore this complex topic, unraveling each piece to understand its methods, motivations, and implications. At its core, tax fraud involves the intentional effort to deceive the government for the purpose of evading taxes that are legally owed. Unlike mere errors in tax reporting, fraud is deliberate, and this intent forms the cornerstone of its definition. For example, a taxpayer knowingly inflating deductions, hiding offshore assets, or creating fake expense records to reduce their tax liability is crafting a foundation of lies. And evasion is just one branch of this illicit tree. Tax evasion specifically refers to the illegal avoidance of paying taxes through falsifying information or concealing income, while tax avoidance refers to legally reducing tax liability by using deductions or credits within the bounds of the law. As we dive in, keep this distinction in mind. Intent separates every level of legality in the tax world. Willful intent to violate the law is the fulcrum that tips tax-related actions into fraud or evasion. The signs of deception, evidence of tax fraud. What does fraud look like in practice? The IRS or relevant authorities begin by looking for red flags, patterns of deception embedded in financial behaviors. Maintaining a second set of books, destroying records, or inflating expenses without justification serve as glaring indicators of tax deception. Picture a business owner shredding documents late at night, or inventing false expenses for imaginary employees, the kind of absurdity that, if discovered, raises immediate alarms. More subtly, unexplained bank accounts under alias names or significant lifestyle expenditures unsupported by declared income can alert investigators. These discrepancies act as puzzle pieces, helping authorities craft a picture of intentional fraud. Direct evidence, such as fake invoices or testimony from insiders who witnessed fraudulent transactions, is often solid and clear. But in other cases, circumstantial evidence, such as unexplained gaps between deposits and income or the sudden appearance of luxury purchases, may also hint that something is amiss. These clues are layered, pointing investigators toward intent even if direct proof seems elusive. The ingenious web, common tax evasion schemes. The creativity behind fraudulent tax schemes goes far beyond simple deception, evolving into a wide and colorful range of tactics. One of the most common methods is underreporting income, essentially sliding money earned under the table to avoid paying taxes on it. Here, imagine a flourishing business recording only a fraction of its transactions and quietly pocketing the rest. It's as if whole swaths of the business activity simply vanish from the books. Equally deceptive are schemes involving falsified deductions and credits. Fraudsters may fabricate or greatly inflate deductible expenses, marking luxury goods or bribes as legitimate business expenses, or even creating phantom employees for non-existent payroll deductions. Tax credit schemes, like abusing environmental credits by underreporting carbon emissions, further exploit loopholes in tax systems designed for social benefit. This abuse corrupts programs that exist to incentivize positive contributions and instead redirects them for personal gain. Global tax evasion also opens a window into prominently debated topics like offshore tax shelters and havens. For instance, tax evasion could involve stashing income in low-tax countries or jurisdictions providing financial secrecy. These havens, often shrouded in layers of shell companies, render assets invisible to domestic tax authorities. Carousel VAT fraud schemes, quite the elaborate method, feature fake transactions where fraudsters endlessly circle unpaid taxes from one participant to another, generating refunds that were never owed. These are some of the grander schemes that can ripple economically, stealing billions while manipulating international trade flows. The law and its teeth. Consequences of tax fraud. For those involved in tax fraud, the consequences can vary widely, but none are trivial. Civil cases result in hefty financial penalties, while criminal cases may escalate towards significant jail time and fines. The difference lies in the burden of proof. Civil cases require less proof compared to criminal proceedings, where prosecutors must demonstrate guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. This means that someone caught with incomplete tax records may face a lighter civil fine unless further investigations prove deliberate wrongdoing. When handling international tax evasion, laws must navigate additional challenges like sovereignty conflicts or strict privilege laws in secrecy jurisdictions. However, an increasing global crackdown opts to penalize aggressively, framing tax evasion not only as a loss of public revenue, but as a shadow undermining trust in taxation systems worldwide. Drawing the line, legal defenses against fraud. Of course, not every discrepancy in taxes amounts to fraud. Imagine a taxpayer who sincerely misunderstood a complex tax regulation. This good faith defense could help eliminate allegations of criminal intent. Other defenses include proving reliance on professional advice, such as from lawyers or accountants. If a qualified expert had all relevant facts but misinterpreted them, the client might claim innocence based on that dependency. In fact, honest mistakes about tax obligations, while weak defenses when negligence is extreme, may sometimes help a taxpayer escape severe criminal charges. Another standout protection applies to spouses. The innocent spouse doctrine recognizes cases in which one partner commits tax fraud without the knowledge or participation of the other, shielding the uninvolved spouse from liability. This defense offers relief to those who might otherwise be entangled in fraudulent filings. Fraud targeting the taxpayer. Not all fraud comes from the taxpayer's side. Sometimes taxpayers find themselves victims. Tax-related identity theft is a growing threat, where criminals use stolen government identification to file fraudulent tax returns and hijack refunds. Imagine the shock of being told your refund has already been claimed by someone else, or realizing your identity has been used to fabricate wages from a company you never worked for. Meanwhile, scams using impersonations of agencies like the IRS continue to prey on unsuspecting individuals. Fraudsters send fake emails or make calls alleging unpaid taxes, coercing victims into handing over money or sensitive information. These tactics aren't just about stealing funds. They're an assault on the trust and security of individuals facing already complex systems of taxation. Wrapping up, navigating the tax landscape. Tax fraud is more than a violation of law. It's a meticulous attack on collective resources, fairness, and accountability. By understanding its mechanisms, we better equip ourselves to both recognize the signs and address its challenges. The key lies in transparency, vigilance, and collaboration between governments, businesses, and individuals to ensure a system where fraud is thwarted before it has the chance to compromise societal trust. Taxes may begin as a simple necessity of civic life, but as we've seen, the layers of fraud, evasion, and prevention make this field far from ordinary. It's a rich, complex world, one worth exploring at every depth to protect both the integrity of laws and the people they serve. Thank you for watching, and as always, continue learning. Stay curious, and we'll see you next video.